Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Dark Souls 1 on the PC. This is my guide and walkthrough. We are now on installment the 18th, and we are in Anor Londo. So this will be the first video of Anor Londo, although we will be covering many things in this video. In this order, we will be hitting the bonfire, fighting a gargoyle, doing the rafter section, fighting another gargoyle, and then doing the infamous Anor Londo Archers section. So this is the first bonfire. Note that you don't have to light it because the firekeeper is right here keeping it lit. From thence, we will be heading back up the stairs and accessing the ladder. I should note that I killed all of the giant knights over here. One of the chests that they guard contains a mimic which will drop the crystal halberd, a weapon that is very strong and which, when broke, cannot be repaired. One of the other chests contains some demon titanite, so if you're going the route of fashioning and then strengthening Quelog's Fury Sword, you're definitely going to want to pick up that chest. There's also another chest over here, which in a moment we will pick up and get some more demon titanite. So here is the first gargoyle, and he looks, he's got the gold on him. I don't know if he's a lightning gargoyle. It doesn't look like his elemental attacks surpass anything other than some breathing, like some electric breathing. So he may very well be an electric gargoyle, but that doesn't mean he's not weak to lightning, because our lightning spear is mauling him. So there is a gargoyle helm. I did sever his tail and I got the drop there. And then if you head on over to here, you're gonna find yourself some demon titanite in this chest. So here it is, 1 demon titanite, and that brings our total up to 7. So I think that is the most you can have in the game, unless you're farming for them or something like that. But we've killed all of the titanite demons. We've got all the drops. That's 7. And there is another titanite demon coming up. He'll be in a subsequent video if I decide to fight him. But this is the rafter section. There are some painted guardians in here. And the first one is going to aggro. When you approach him, he'll drop down. You might want to try to get a backstab on him. But yeah, this weapon, I didn't realize at first how good this weapon is, but it's devastatingly good. So anytime these enemies turn after you parry, you're gonna have to move your location a little bit so you can line yourself up with their bodies, because sometimes your riposte will fail. But this is a moment where your hands will start to sweat, probably because it's a little terrifying. And basically the trick here is to position yourself properly so that these guys fall to their death. It doesn't happen every time. Believe me, one time I got only one of them to do what's going to happen in a moment. This run I got all 3. Stay right about here and they'll jump off. But you have to be at that angle. They'll try to jump for you and they'll fall to their deaths. Okay, so when we come back down to do the painted world, we will get this item here, which is on the chandelier. So we'll hit it off and then we will later get it. Shields that have high stability here would be helpful. I mean, you could use throwing knives. You can try to kick them off, but I think that since this is such a tried and true method that most players use, I think that you would be foolish to not try it, especially if you're struggling. But there's the second one down. And if you look over to the left, do you see over to the left that chest? That chest bothered me the last time I did the run, like a couple days ago, and it also bothered me this time because I was really curious as to what was in it. It could be more demon titanite, it could be something good, it could be a chunk, because at this point, to upgrade our lightning spear to +4, we need 3 chunks. So just same deal, just stand at an angle, he'll fall off. And my curiosity overrode me after we do the next gargoyle, and I will be getting that chest and keeping it in the video. Now, can you get it at this point? The answer is yes, you can get it. However, the reason I went back and got it is due to the fact that I was having such a nice take here and I didn't want any deaths that I'd later have to edit out. So we're going to go through the fog wall here. And any of these sequences that you do, any enemies that you kill, like the mini bosses, the gargoyles, once killed, they're slayed permanently, vanquished for good. Same goes for the rafter section. If you do the rafter section and then move this contraption, if you happen to perish on this gargoyle, you do not have to do the rafter section again. That is very generous of the game. So this guy has a tail stab in the air that he does. He's got a swipe with his right hand that he does, and I'm trying to sever his tail again. But this weapon is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But let's talk about the decision I made after this part to go back to that chest. And I won't spoil it for you. He's also got that sweeping attack that he does, and oftentimes he'll land down here and you can get a plunge attack on him. But I decided to put my going back to the chest up here in the video. I could have edited it out, but I thought it will make the archer's sequence a little bit more desirable, since now you'll have to wait a little bit for it. And I have personally heard from many folks that the Anor Londo archers section is probably the if not the most challenging part of the game. This, by the way, is how you get back to where we were to move this contraption. If not the most challenging part of the game, it's the most frustrating for folks. And to me, the first time I did this ever, first time I played the game, I died. I died one time, and then I got it the next time, and then every subsequent time I've gotten it on my first try. So I must just be an atypical case where I don't have issues with it, because I simply do not have issues with this Anor Londo archer section. This guy scared the fuck out of me. He's just chilling over here. He got me so flustered. I was missing all my parries. I was just discombobulated by this white bitch. There are tactics. I've heard people say that you can use poison arrows on the archers. Honestly, I don't know where poison arrows are kept in this game. But here is what we've came back for. And it's not a mimic. We can confirm that. And it is a divine blessing. That could actually help. You know, you might need an extra heal at some point, or something to cure all status effects. But anyway, if you come over here, this is a parallel structure, and the enemy too, his placement is in a parallel nature. So that's why this guy didn't scare me. But there's no running past the final archer. There's two archers. We're only really going to see one of them. But there's no running past him. And I expressed often to folks that it's parry or die time. You parry or you die. Now with this weapon at this strength, one riposte will kill him. But if you have a longsword, you know, somewhere from the range of 5 to 10, it might take 2 parries. So it's definitely parry or die time, motherfucker. Anyway, so we're going to one-hand our weapon here because, as you might guess, we're going to be parrying, and we can't parry two-handed. And we're going to be running past all of the gargoyles and the giants and just doing a make it or break it moment. The thrill of this section is what will never make me use the poison arrows, because this is an adrenaline ride. Even though it's never been a problem for me, every time I approach this situation, I have that feeling of living on the razor's edge, of winning and losing, of life and death. You know, in-game life and death obviously has nothing to do with real life and real death, but just the notion of it being so thrilling and satisfying that that spurs me on every time and makes me love this section. And anyway, so this is it. I would wait for them to fire and then run. Guarding here can be dangerous with a shield that doesn't have much stability, which ours doesn't. And I want to point this out up here. Don't block this arrow here, because if you do, it can push you back and push you off. So roll through it. And then he got in a hit, but he got parried. He got riposted. It was parry or die time, and we didn't die. We lived. Because that section is quite ruthless, but it's not unfair. And now we're going to go through the fog door here and hit the door to the left. And I don't know why, but Solaire is not sitting beside the bonfire. But anyway, you take care of yourself.